What's up, guys? Welcome to another video of Dev Talks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering and technology wise. And in this video, we're going to be diving into apparently H-1B visa is about to be $100K per person. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's dive right in.
One of the most abused visa systems in our current immigration system has been the H-1B non-immigrant visa program. This is supposed to allow highly skilled laborers who work in fields that Americans don't work in to come into the United States of America. What this proclamation will do is raise the fee that companies pay to sponsor H-1B applicants to $100,000. This will ensure that the people they're bringing in are actually very highly skilled and that they're not replaceable by American workers. So it'll protect American workers, but ensure that companies have a pathway to hire truly extraordinary people and bring them to the United States to work.
We need workers. We need workers. We need great workers. And this pretty much ensures that that's what's going to happen. I think, Sean, do you agree with that?
Well, they're $100,000 per year. So the whole idea is no more will these big tech companies or other big companies train foreign workers. They have to pay the government $100,000, then they have to pay the employee. So it's just not economic. If you're going to train somebody, you're going to train one of the recent graduates from one of the great universities across our land, train Americans, stop bringing in people to take our jobs. That's the policy here, $100,000 a year for H-1B visas, and all of the big companies are on board. We've spoken to them about the gold card.
They love it. They love it. They really love it.
So let me give my take on this whole thing. One, I agree with this. I agree with the idea of this. Definitely. There's a part that I have a question about in a second that I want to go into. But the reason why I agree with this is because Americans, especially people just out of undergrad, are suffering. If you've noticed, and I've talked to a lot of people who are actually U.S. citizens and things like that, and you notice at times certain foreigners are getting treated better than actual Americans do in that country. They are. When it comes to these jobs and everything, and there's a reason why this is happening, because even Vivek, who was going to be part of Doge and everything like that before he moved out, he was agreeing with Elon, and they were saying that they were just going to keep hiring people from out of the country. But this is the thing, because not everybody works in the tech industry, so they don't know what's going on and how some of these things might occur. But they were purposely going out, and I've made a video on this on the past and stated that there's no way in the world that you're telling me that we don't have just as intelligent people getting out of college, working, and being trained to do all that. Companies right now don't want to train. They don't. They do not want to train anybody at all for the majority of the aspect. If you look at it right now and you go through a lot of companies are hiring senior level and up staff, senior, principal, higher level positions available, and then other jobs they giving out somewhere else where they can pay cheaper. That's what they're doing. They're giving out jobs elsewhere to be cheaper. But the main overall goal for this is we have people working. We have people who are unemployed. We have people who are unemployed that are working for these positions, that want to work for these positions, that are able to work for these positions, and they're not getting the jobs because they're going other routes. So what this is going to do is, hey, if you want to hire one of these people, they better be exceptional, actually exceptional. And what he said in the first 10 seconds was really important, because he said the reason for the visa is to fulfill jobs that an American workforce can't. That's the purpose of it, to have, so that they're able to fulfill a specific need of jobs that the American people can't. No matter what the job may be, but instead, nobody can sit here and tell me that Americans as a whole in healthcare, tech, or any of those other big companies can't fulfill the need of the jobs in the workforce. All the schools that get done in here, all the colleges that people come in and go to in the US, you're telling me no, we don't have enough? It's a struggle. Look at the rates for undergrads graduating and getting jobs and how long it takes them to get a job in the industry that they went to college for. And I'm talking about the students who go for a real degree, not the basket weaving ones. I'm talking about students who put in real work to get their graduation done in the US, are citizens and struggling. This is to amend it. This is what to amend it. That's why I agree and like it, especially if it works. Now, here's my question for this, right? I saw somebody make a comment about the medical workforce, and they were like, we have a lot of people on H-1B and medical field. I don't know how, because every time I turn around, when I talk to certain people, especially women, they in the medical field. They nurses, they this, they that. I don't know how, but they said there's a lot of people on H-1B visas that work in the medical fields that get paid $55K. I don't know, because I'm not in there. And they said there's no way a company is going to pay $100,000 on top to keep somebody there that they're only paying $55,000. For one, duh. That's the point. I think that's the overall point. If a company wanted to pay you, they can pay, you know how many, do you know the barrier entry for a job or a position or the residents? They were talking about residents, I think. They were talking about residents. If residents only get paid $55,000 to do all they're doing, which maybe they should deserve more based on what I've seen some residents do and things like that, and some people who I know who work in hospitals, and all across the board. You're telling me there's nobody else that they could have hired instead? There's nobody at all they could have hired instead in the US that applied for the same jobs. I get it. So if you want to keep people, to employers to hire people who are in the US and not do it, that's the point. This isn't saying, hey, if somebody out the country needs an H-1B visa and they're an engineer. Engineers already getting paid over six figures. They gonna pay another six on top of it. And if that person's a stud, they gonna keep paying for that person to stay. They are. And you want to know how I know this? Look at Meta. Meta just poached another one of Apple's engineers or something, AI researchers or something like that. He paid a 24-year-old to what, $250 million. These companies will pay for it if they love that person and they want to keep them there. If not, you know what they're going to do? Hey, we can just get the same thing for cheaper, even cheaper now in the US, and actually train the talent that's actually here. I don't think I'm tripping in this case, right? Despite how you feel about him or his administration, to me, this is American first. 100% for people who need jobs and everything like that. And they gotta pay $100K per head every single year. They gotta love you. They gotta love you. Because everything is about money with them. Layoffs, all of it. It's all about money with them. Now, if the quality of everything goes down after these changes, then they're like, okay, maybe, well, I can't even say that. I was going to say if the quality of the work goes down after this, what they're most likely going to do is just fire the person anyways. And if they find somebody who's outside of the US who's a quality worker, they're going to pay to keep them. So I can't even say the quality goes down because that's on the company. If you wanted better quality and you found a person out there, you could have hired them. You could have hired them. And that's crazy because I heard that H-1B visas were like $5,000 to $10,000 before this order went in. That is a markup. And they're not going to be willing to do it. Whenever somebody's things that gets out, they're going to be replacing. Ooh. I wonder how that's going to work for global companies in this sake, because I need to do more research on how some of these global companies work, where they have offices in other countries and things like that. Technically, they're not working in the US, they're working over there. So I think they might be able to like skate out of it because they have an actual office in those other countries. But besides that, the ones who don't, or ones you have to come straight here for a specific office or any of that, gone. They're gonna be gone. And hopefully this helps the people. I say children when they're not even that much younger than me. Helps the students graduating from colleges to then be getting hired again. I pray and hope that helps them. I really do. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. 100K seems crazy. I didn't even think they needed to raise it that high. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. If you have any recommendations, send me an email at devtalkspod@gmail.com. Without further ado, peace. See you next time.